Good. All right. Good evening, everybody. We'll call this meeting of the Buckfield Select Board to order, November 11th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. And firstly, Veterans Day. So thank you to all of our veterans out there. Oh, he's keeping his head down. Yeah. And welcome to Joanne. Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Well,
Congratulations.
hey, that's a good thing tonight.
Yeah, we'll see, right?
See what you think of me in 6 months.
Right. Old business, Buckfield Rescue 451 planning.
This was just informational. I don't expect you guys to act. Obviously, you know how the election went. So since you put the question on the warrant and since the public hearing, I have had conversations with Sugarloaf Ambulance. Keith did come out and relook at 451. He hasn't sent me the most updated quote. He had sent me one for 188,000, but there was a couple of changes in there, including the price of the chassis, which was a couple $1,000s. So the rough estimate was 190,000 to remount that. One thing that he did say during that meeting was that if we did go that route, he would be able to put us in a loaner for the duration of the project. So while we wait on the list and then have the project done. So we won't have to rent an ambulance at $125 a day, or we'll have a second unit in service until this is complete. Obviously, there's a hiccup there. Our current rescue department capital asset reserve has 111,254.93 in it. There was a $5,000 appropriation from this year's budget, so that'll bump it up to 116,000 ish. With the estimated project cost at 190,000, that'll leave a remaining balance of 73,745.07. Obviously, this seems to be the more favored approach from the comments that we got at the public hearing and some of the public input, which was also what I supported from the get-go. We just had a communication breakdown with the vendor, and we kind of were stuck with an ambulance that either needed to be fixed or replaced. So this, in my opinion, is what I would recommend to the board. How are we going to come up with the 73,000? I think a little bit of it will be currently rescues tracking to, fingers crossed, exceed revenue this year. So we can have a warrant article asking to take that excess revenue and put it into that account. And then we can also either budget it in the regular budget or ask to borrow that 70-ish thousand, which would obviously be much more favorable than borrowing 430,000 or even 200,000. I feel strongly that it should have community support because it's a much better option than what we were looking at when we went to vote. So that's my recommendation to you. Obviously, there's two other options. We can take some of that money that's in that account, fix 451. I don't recommend that. Or we can purchase a newer used ambulance, but then you're playing Russian roulette. You don't know what you're getting. You could get something that's worse than what we have. So I think option 3 is the best option. Give you obviously time to think about it. We have another meeting next week. We can discuss it a little bit more in depth. Hopefully by then I'll have an updated proposal. I also had a request with Autotronics, but I have not heard back from them yet. So if this is all we got, then all we got. There's not really so many people that do remount stuff.
Right.
And then I included the minutes from May 7th because I wanted to remind you that the board had already voted in favor to purchase the chassis, which was part of getting us on that list. Obviously, we haven't committed to that. I told Keith that I needed to talk to the select board first and figure out what direction we were taking. So we really wouldn't need another vote to approve the purchase of the chassis because it's already been approved and it meets the amount. I think he said the new chassis, the 26 is 53,000 and we approved up to 60. So that's really all we would need to move forward, but I'm not going to move forward until I know that's what the board wants me to do. Question?
No, it's helpful to be able to have all the information ahead of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's a reasonable option for sure.
you know, once that's done, I mean, we realistically can look at the next 10 years.
Yep.
I would highly recommend, because we heard comments in the meeting about capital planning or capital improvement planning. Just because we get it all remounted and we have a new ambulance in service doesn't mean we just stop looking at it until
Okay.
something happens. We need to start planning 10 years out.
Mhm.
And it's hard because that money is usually what gets cut from the budget first. But if we're going to do this the right way, then this is what we need to do.
Yep, for all our equipment.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2 fire trucks that are getting old too. So
Yep.
we haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Well, thank you. Oh, yes.
So I'm not sure if we just leave this as a discussion or I need to make a motion.
I don't know
I
that
was thinking
we-
I would make a motion that we table this discussion on 451 until next week. So we all have time to really look at the numbers, do whatever research we want to do, and then come back next week with the goal of making a decision.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, bye-bye.
Cecilia, aye. Joanne, aye.
Sandra, aye.
Thank you. New business, the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second that. Further discussion?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had time to go through these reports yet. I put them in the
All right.
packet, but
I breezed through them.
I think one of the notable things to mention, obviously everybody knows Paris Hill. They've completed the surface. I haven't been down to Broxville Road, but I'm pretty sure the surface is done on that road as
Yep.
well. So Preston and the crew will have to start working on shoulders before. Well, we already saw some snow this week, but before it gets really snowy, because we don't want the spring thaw to wash out those roads. So he'll be working on that. They've been hauling winter sand. I think they're complete now. They've repaired some washouts, replaced some culverts, working on trucks. Obviously, we're trying to get those ready, make sure they're ready for winter. Rescue had 35 calls for the month of October. They're actually pacing to exceed last year's call volume. She doesn't mention it in her report, but I also want to note that Stacy attended a rescue billing training.
Yes.
And our QI officers have been doing a really good job, because our revenue that we're bringing in has been consistently much higher than what it has been. Obviously, we changed the rates, or updated the rates for the first time in a long time, but that's going to make a big difference. I know last year we missed the projection the year before because that was kind of in the limbo era, but I think going forward, what they're doing well. They're making sure if we're doing something, it's getting billed appropriately, and I think that might help lead into that capital improvement planning for 10 years from now, or when 452 needs to be remounted. I just want to mention that the library had a total of 381 visitors in October. They seem to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
The community parks pass was used by 18 people in October. Must have been cold. The state aquarium and the coastal Maine botanical gardens passes are concluded for the season. They provided passes for the Maine State Parks, Maine Mineral and Gem Museum, the State Aquarium at Buckfield Harbor, and the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens. The Friends of the Library purchased the Botanical Garden Pass, and since June, the passes have been used by 92 people. On Saturday, December 6th, the Friends Group and Library will hold a book and bake sale at the library from 9 to 1. And I missed something up here. There's a monthly program. The Maine Mineral and Gem Museum has scheduled monthly programs, which include reading, science lessons, and experiments with Deb Johnson, their educator at the library in town. These are free for the library and have been well attended in the summer. The next one is Monday, November 24th. And I missed it on the rescue one, but Stacy wants to welcome, we've got 3 new providers. I'm gonna slaughter these names, Bob.
Yeah,
Do you pronounce them? Do you know how to pronounce them?
Melissa Musbat. I'll go with that.
Elizabeth Elkins.
Yep.
And Christina Ullman. So we've got 2 new EMTs and an AEMT.
I happen to know they saved a house up the street.
Yeah.
Fire
Didn't hear
rescue.
about that.
Yeah.
Rescue saved a couple houses.
Probably.
So that's the report.
All right. Any further discussion? The total on that, on the warrants is $488,409.56.
Accounts payable 33 includes the county tax payment. That's why that's so high.
Yeah. All right. All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Delia, aye. Joanne, aye.
Sandra, I.
Okay. Approval of the minutes from the October 21st, 2025 Select Board meeting.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes of the October 21st, 2025 Select Board meeting as written.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All those,
Here's a piece of discussion. So Joanne wasn't here.
Right.
I wasn't here. I watched it.
Hmm.
But if only 2 people vote, is that a problem?
I think we
Or
have to
can I
wait.
vote that they're accurate having watched it after the fact?
We can table it until the next meeting. So Peter's here. And then
Yeah.
you can have 3.
I'll rescind my motion.
I was in my second.
All right. And I'll make a motion. We table this till the, was it November 18th? I believe.
Sounds right.
Next week.
Next meeting.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You can vote on tabling it.
What?
Oh, I second.
Okay, all right. Further discussion? No? All right. All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Delia, aye. Joanne, aye.
Sandra, I.
Thank you. Renewal of the Town of Buckfield's policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for state fees collected by the municipality.
So these are those annual policies that we have in place so that we can pay our people and also pay the state the money that we collect for them. I felt it was a good idea to update them with Joanne now on the board to remove Heather's name and add her. Basically, this allows one of you to come in, review the warrants, and then approve it so that we can pay, and then you'll get the opportunity to approve it as a group at the next meeting. So that's the only thing I changed was Joanne for Heather. And the date.
I will make a motion. We renew the Town of Buckfield policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for state fees collected by the municipality.
Second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Delia, aye. Joanne, aye.
I.
Okay, renewal of the Town of Buckfield's policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits.
Same gist.
Same thing.
Same.
All right. I'll make a motion. We renew the Town of Buckfield policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits.
I'll second.
All right. Further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Delia, aye. Joanne, aye.
Sandra, I.
Ooh, committee appointments. Look at them all.
Really? Nice.
I'd
Yeah.
like to make a motion that we appoint John McKenzie to the Recreation Committee for a 2-year term.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All those in
Thank you,
favor?
John.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Quick, before you change.
That's right. All those in favor? Bye-bye.
Delia. Joanne, aye.
Aye.
You're in.
You're in.
You're-
No, got it. I will make a motion. We appoint Murdy Rimley to the library committee for a 3-year term.
I will second that.
Further discussion?
So sorry if I butchered your name, but thank you very much.
Yes.
Mhm. All those in favor? Bob, aye.
Delia, aye. Joanne, aye.
Sandra, I.
That fills the library committee again.
And I would like to make a motion. I don't see why we can't do this all in one, that we appoint Karen Elliott Whitney to the Beautification, Parks, and Conservation Committee for a one-year term. I apologize. Also to the Economic Development Committee for a one-year term and to the Planning Board for a one-year term.
I will second.
Further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, aye.
Joanne, I.
Sandra, aye.
All right, thank you, Karen. Other business?
I forgot to put it on here, but I've got a lot of questions from other towns, so I figured I'd just give you an update. The town clerk sent out the written notification to the secretary of the RSU and the commissioner of education the day after the election. Sumner sent theirs out the day after. I believe Hartford sent theirs out yesterday. The school board has received Buckfield and Sumner's notification, but they're just waiting on Hartford. The way I interpret this, the withdrawal process is once the commissioner receives it, they'll direct you as a board to establish your withdrawal committee. So there's really not much for you to do just yet, but you know that it's going to happen. So part of that would be probably for a resident at large, for somebody from the town of Buckfield that wasn't involved in the circulation of the petition, or a member of the board, or a school board member, who that's going to be. Somebody who was involved in circulating the petition, I believe Michelle Casey, Judy Berg, and Brittany Allaire were the three that circulated the petitions. You'll need one municipal officer from the town of Buckfield willing to serve, and then one of the school board directors. Obviously Buckfield has two. I know one of them has emailed you guys. I haven't heard from the other one. And as far as the municipal officer, that's up for you all to decide. But those are the four that you'll need for that based off my interpretation of.
So procedurally, the commissioner would have to approve it. Do we have to then create this committee like somehow?
So the municipal officers from each town will be tasked with establishing their own withdrawal committee. So even though it's a group, it's Buckfield, Hartford, and Sumner, each town will have four. And again, this is the way I interpret it. Each town will have four members on their committee. So Buckfield will have a selectman, a school board director, somebody involved with circulating the petition, and then a resident. Yep, at large. At that point, once that's established, so once you're directed to do that and you've created that, the chair of the school board then has 30 days to call a meeting of the withdrawal committees and will act as chair until each withdrawal committee appoints their own chair. The chair of the school board is also the only school board rep for Hartford, so he'll have to, I guess he restock.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we're at in the process. I know Hartford reached out and I had texted some of you. You didn't get the message. I didn't have your phone number at the time.
That's all right.
So we scheduled a meeting for, what was it? Friday the 20th.
Yeah.
21st
At
at 6 p.m. here.
Here. Did I write that down?
You did.
Oh, yeah, it's on your agenda and I highlighted it. So that'll be the select, and it doesn't have to be a forum. There's not really gonna be any decisions to make. It's more of like three downs kind of discussing what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
But I did want to publish it in case three of you or more showed up.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it on the town calendar as well?
it is. So that'll just kind of be where Buckfield, Hartford, and Sumner boards can kind of talk about what are we looking at moving forward. So I've gotten some questions from Sumner. I've gotten some questions from Hartford. I'm just reading off the 22 steps that are on the website, and I'm kind of just step by step. Our website under the Education Exploration Committee, I've kind of listed out each step and the dates and how things worked out, as well as the vote, and then the date we submitted everything. So like our website shows we're on step 5. So we're on step 6 whenever we receive notification. You're going to pull it up just so. All right.
So we should do our homework and be prepared for this November 21st. What I'm getting out of this.
Yep, read up. And it sounds like we don't have to establish a committee because the commissioner's going to ask us to create one.
But it'd be a good idea to start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just to
And
kind of
make sure
figure
that
out.
everybody interprets it the same way.
Right, because you don't want to, you know how hard it is for us to fill committees as it is. I mean, I have a feeling you won't have a hard time finding people for this one, but
Yeah.
you also don't want to find yourself in a situation where you can't find anybody. So we've done step 5. Step 6 says the commissioner shall direct the municipal officers of the petitioning municipality to establish a withdrawal committee to develop withdrawal agreement per Title 28 MRS subsection 1466 4A. The 4-member withdrawal committee shall include members appointed as follows: 1 member from the municipal officers, 1 member from the general public, 1 member from the group filing the petition, and 1 member of the regional school unit board who represents that municipality. So the way I read that, the commissioner shall direct. I feel like we're waiting to hear from the commissioner.
Okay.
Um,
But in the meantime, we can prepare ourselves for that.
And perhaps look at what the commitment might look like for the people who, is it a committee, who join this committee, so people know ahead of time,
What's expected of them, yeah.
right, how often,
How often they're gonna meet.
you know, for what time, what kind of research are these people going to be responsible for? So all of that could be figured out.
And if you read through this, it's like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Like, so the chair of the regional school unit board shall call a meeting of the withdrawal committee within 30 days of the notice of the vote in September, or in step 5. So we sent ours in, voting was the 4th, on the 5th. I don't know if they count that as the day they received it, which I think was the 6th. So 30 days from that. And then from there, the withdrawal committee shall negotiate a withdrawal agreement in compliance with the statute with the regional school unit board and shall submit the proposed agreement to the commissioner within 90 days. That's only 3 months. And then the next step after that is within 60 days of the receipt of the withdrawal agreement, the commissioner shall either give it conditional approval or recommend changes. So, I mean, it's very quick. So I think one of the things that probably should be discussed or brainstormed at that meeting should be like, who are we looking at for legal representation if we're all doing this together?
Mhm.
Because obviously there's, between the 3 towns, is up to $150,000 to use for this purpose, but we have a town attorney, but maybe there's attorneys that are more specialized in this kind of process.
Mm.
So that's where we are with that. I just wanted to mention it because obviously the election was last week and I'm sure people are wondering. But we've done what we need to do at this point. I know Sumner and Hartford have both done what they're supposed to do. We're on track.
And the meeting on the 21st, it will at least be recorded, if not live streamed. So for people who can't make it, they can.
Yeah, if it's here, I should be able to run Zoom. I just, nobody really wanted to pick a location. And I said, well, then let's just stick with Buckfield. If you want to change it, change it. But as of right now, nobody said anything different. So
No, that'll be great.
Buckfield is.
Whoever wants to. Thank you.
So,
Adding it in my phone now. If it's not in the phone, it doesn't happen.
Right. I'll do there.
There we go. It's in. All right. Any other business? Yes.
So I'm going to make a motion, but if we don't want to go through with this tonight, I understand it wasn't on here. I'd like to make a motion that we hold a special town meeting to establish a moratorium on the development of commercial solar farms until the time that the planning board can write an ordinance that can then go to the people.
I'll second that.
As we know,
Mhm.
the town did not vote to enact the ordinance in place. So there's nothing there. And I just worry that if we have no ordinance, no guidelines whatsoever, things may not turn out the way people would want them to. I don't know what it is folks want. So that's my thought behind that, is let's have a moratorium, which would just mean everything needs to take a pause,
Mhm.
and then the planning board can work to develop an ordinance that can then go to the voters.
So what I've heard is there was confusion. People thought that voting no meant they were voting against solar, as opposed to not understanding they have to enact an ordinance in order to set any guidelines on it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, I mean, I drafted it up for you guys, and maybe the title of the ordinance was saying solar farm ordinance. I don't know.
And we don't
It
know.
could be
so
any
we can't
number of
assume.
things.
I don't know. But I think there was some confusion. And I've already passed on that ordinance and some others to the planning board for them to review. The last planning board that was tasked with that got buried in subdivision applications, and they just didn't have the time needed to delve into it. And then a lot of them were involved in the education exploration committee, and that's kind of where they wanted to focus their attention. So when they left, it kind of was just tabled. So
My only concern about repeating this is, will that not happen again? Will our current planning board not get bogged down by the same thing? Should we consider forming a temporary ad hoc committee for the specific purpose of addressing solar development in our town?
I don't think you'd need to create an ad hoc committee. We have an ordinance development committee, and we got, no, we don't. We have no members on it.
Right.
So you already have a
I am
committee
aware
that's,
of that
Yes.
aspect, and maybe if it were less broad, and there wasn't the potential for them to be delegated to other ordinances, that maybe people would be more interested in joining. But it's my idea.
Bob?
Yeah, just, Cam and I had talked the other day about this. And I can speak from personal experience. My wife, it's my fault, I didn't go through the war ahead of time. She never knew what it developed for the smaller. The ordinance is really pretty well written. It is. I think the biggest deal on it, I don't. The title didn't mention commercial in there at all. Solar farm one, solar farm ordinance. So at our next planning board meeting, which is this month on the 25th, we are going to be discussing
Mhm.
this and a couple other ordinances that I think need to be looked at. So you will be hearing more on that, right? So Delia, I don't think there's a problem with, right now we have nothing else that has,
Just what I was wondering. Thank
so
you.
this is, for the next meeting,
Right,
nothing else happens. This is gonna be.
okay. Good to know.
Yes.
And I would hope that the folks who would come to that special town meeting to vote on a moratorium, would be temporary, to get their feedback. What is it that you're looking for? And perhaps get the information out there to the community, get in touch with somebody on the planning board, or send us some information about what you want
Mhm.
or don't want
Mhm.
for solar farms in Buckfield. And maybe by gathering that information, looking at how it's written,
we're in a position right now where if somebody comes in with a well-drafted plan and submits a building permit, 25-foot setbacks, that's it.
Mhm.
There's no guidelines for cleanup. There's no guidelines for, line of sight or anything. It's just, it's do whatever.
Mhm.
And I don't think, whether you're for it or against it, I don't think that's a good place to be.
Right. We definitely need
Yeah.
some guidelines,
I absolutely
at
agree.
least guidelines.
So hopefully, I mean, without a moratorium, I see what Sonny's saying. Without a moratorium, we're kind of gambling that nothing will happen until June when we actually have an election and hopefully something from the planning board to put before the voters and
Right.
hopefully more time to get information out to the public so that they understand the way it works. Whenever the town implements an ordinance, it's very specific on how we have to ask it.
Mhm.
It's shall an ordinance be enacted, titled, and that's it.
Mhm.
You can't word salad it. You can't spin it. A yes can't mean a no can't mean a yes. It's straightforward and you just need to make sure that voters understand that in order to have guidelines on something, you have to have an ordinance, which means you would have to enact that ordinance. Because without it, you can't restrict. That's one of the biggest issues we deal with is junkyard issues, right? I think you might have been involved on the board with the junkyard ordinance was tried.
I didn't even know there was so many junkyards in Buckfield.
So, I mean, I get complaints constantly about yards and stuff. And I mean, yes, the state has their guidelines and it's very costly to enforce them. Even if we had our own ordinance, it'd be costly to enforce them, but we're really limited to what we can do about that stuff. And if some solar farm goes out right in wide open space and somebody comes in here, permit get approved.
Mhm.
As long as it's not shoreline zoning.
Did we need to set a date for that?
To hold a
Yeah,
special town meeting.
yeah.
But,
December 2nd.
how much notice time do we have to make sure we
Needs to be published. It needs to be posted 10 days prior.
So it can't be next meeting.
Right. I can't remember.
December 2nd's though.
December 2nd.
Yeah, because our next meeting's the 18th, then we're off. That's Thanksgiving week. And hunting season. And then December 2nd.
That's 7/14/21. If you did it on the 2nd before your select board meeting, it's 21 days. It should be enough.
Yeah.
It would be open floor, just like we used to. Show of hands, whoever's here is here.
So we work to get the word out, the moratorium, but also an opportunity.
Yeah,
It's been a while since. You can.
The goal is to write an ordinance that enacts what the community wants.
mhm,
So you've already got a moratorium already drafted because you passed it once and then it lapsed.
Lapse.
So it's already written unless you wanted to make any changes to it, but I don't think you need to. If you vote to have it on the 2nd, tomorrow I'll look over all the information, just make sure that that's enough time. I'm pretty sure it is, but I just want to make sure that we're following the right procedures.
And then perhaps we can look at the wording. Do we have time to then vote next week? If wording is still fine, or if we want to.
Yeah, because that would give you 7, 8, 9,
They'll
10,
give us 14 days, right?
11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah,
So if we can set the date, but then next week we'll
We
just
can confirm the
make sure.
wording.
before I leave tonight, I'll email you all the original moratorium.
Okay.
That way you have it.
Mhm.
Don't use www.
Right? I don't know how she figured it out. She did in a matter of seconds.
So, yeah, and then tomorrow I'll also review. So there's different things for enacting moratoriums and ordinances that I'll just make sure that it's all lined up correctly. If you have to reschedule it for a later date, we can talk about that on the 18th.
So I'll amend my motion to include the date December 2nd
6 p.m.
at 6 p.m.
Mm.
With the select board meeting to follow.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, aye.
Joy and I.
All right, other business? Yes.
The other for next week, again, I was thinking maybe, to shuffle up our committee board organization liaison assignments. With Joanne coming on board and
Yep.
assigning them, certainly if someone is involved with a committee and really want to stick with a project that they're doing,
Mhm.
you know, I think that we would all support that, but just in general, if we all had opportunities to work with different people. So I was thinking we could all kind of think about
Yeah.
and then, roll the dice or draw straws or whatever. Do for next week, go around the
Yeah.
table and just pick out, you know, however you want.
Oh, I get to do it? All right. Maybe I could assign them.
That went downhill fast.
I'm just thinking of what bribery.
Other method, whatever, yeah.
I just brought that up tonight so people can think about it.
No, sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Yes, and I wanted to thank you for attending the county commissioner's budget hearing. Too. That was,
Oh, it's the first of.
Yeah. yes.
I'm learning a great deal about county budgets.
25% again next year?
Sure hope not.
Me too.
I sure hope not. I will do what I can.
We appreciate it.
And certainly any information, as this process goes on. It's all available online for Oxford County, but any inklings or clues I pick up along the way, I will post that on the town.
Do they they record those or post them or anything? I don't believe so.
Honestly, don't know. The room was really full.
Mhm.
It was filled with the people making pitches for
Mhm.
the money, so I didn't see a camera, but it very well could have been.
Curious. All right. Thank you.
If they are and you figure out where they're hidden, let me know so I can check.
Yeah, I'd be interested for sure. All right, any other business? All right, public comment.
I was in contact with the
We did have a meeting with Brad with Maine Preservation. We talked about fee for service, him drafting some sort of document that we could disperse to get bids on it. Because we are very interested in your proposal, but in the interest of fairness, we also want to open it up to other people as well. So we can really weigh our options to give the church its best chance. Cam, have you heard any follow-up from Brad? I didn't notice any in my inbox, but
I haven't seen a follow-up. I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
that's kind of where we're at right now. It would be helpful for us from you if you could send Cam or me, the whole board, an email on any funding that you've secured or any further proposals that you can give us, details on your proposal, but that is kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll continue to build out what we're working on. You guys have a timeline for when you're gonna make decisions and move forward on things?
Once we have a outline from Brad for this document, we will have a better idea of a timeline. Like we'll establish a period that we will be accepting proposals before we'll start weighing them. But until then, I do not have a timeline.
Great, no, that works.
Okay.
Kind of at a standstill right now.
That's fine, as long as we know when we need to be showing up. And
For sure.
getting ready.
Yeah, and part of our conversation with Brad included them finding revenue or avenues of funding for proposals to kind of help you as well as anyone else who's considering it, find some, through his connections, being in Maine preservation, what sorts of funding is out there for people interested in this kind of thing.
I email. I also, on that subject, just a little bit, like I have 10 years running, series for Barbara Bush.
Mhm.
And a lot of fundraising.
Yeah.
So there's like stuff with the search, even just like,
Mhm.
the love until you can get there anyway, like,
Yeah, that's great to know. Yeah. And we're definitely, interested in keeping it in the community. So I think that'll be a great plus on your end. But yeah, we do want to be thorough and make sure we're also giving the church its best chance.
Thank you for coming in and
Yes.
continuing to ask us.
Thank you.
I'm ready. Great job.
Continue to.
Yeah.
Yes, Joanne?
I just have a question. I'm sorry. I'm new here. I'm not familiar with who you are or what your proposal is. Can you just fill me in real quick?
Over the last year, I've been putting together a business plan to open a community store. And utilize the old church.
Mm-hmm.
And bring in people locally for a lot of local made things.
Mhm.
Things that like having maybe like boutiques, seasonal market with, food stuff, local farmers
Mhm.
and agriculture. Water, but, and then community elements. Community building.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense to me.
You have a copy of that proposal, right?
Yeah, I believe I have a copy of the proposal. I can forward it to you.
Yes, would you
Joanne.
please? Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah, the government takes forever, right? So, yeah, this is more movement than we've seen in a long time. It's
Yeah,
very exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very exciting for us.
Yeah. Thank you again for following up with us.
All right. Any other public comment? No? All right. Then I will make a motion that we adjourn at 7:11 PM.
I will second that.
All those in favor? Bye-bye.
Joanne, I.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for joining. the
Want to
committee.
send back?
Thank you for.
No, I
Okay,
got,
keep it.
yeah, that's
Oh,
town
look at that.
property.
Oh.